Well, hi everybody, and I hope you're ready for our story time again. Now, last week I read a book to you called Dear Boy, and it was a book that was written by a girl and her dad, and it was full of great advice for boys. Well, I told you I was going to read the girls' book this week, and today is the day. This book today is called Dear Girl. But this one was not written by the girl and her dad. This was written by the girl and her mom. So how cool that she got to write a book, one with her dad and one with her mom. So this was written by Paris Rosenthal and her mother, Amy, and they wrote this book together. So let's see what advice this mother and daughter team have for the girls out there. And don't worry, boys, there's still a lot of good advice in here for anybody to take away. Let's see what we can learn from Dear Girl. And this is a HarperCollins publication. Thank you, HarperCollins, for letting us read this today online since we can't read it in the library. Here we go, friends. Dear girl, keep that arm raised. You have smart things to say. Dear girl, sometimes you may feel like being pink and sparkly. Sometimes you may feel pretty much the opposite. And that illustration is quite the opposite when you look at the mud, right? Some days you feel this way, some days you feel this way. And both are great. Dear girl, look at yourself in the mirror. Say thank you to something that makes you, you. Here she's saying, thank you, freckles. Thank you, birthmark. Thank you, red hair. Things that make you, you. I always say to my students, how boring it would be if all of my students were exactly the same. So glad I have so many students who are different. Makes it special. Dear girl, sometimes you just need a good cry. Sometimes you'll need a friend. Sometimes you'll need to be alone. Sometimes you'll need a tissue, and sometimes you'll need a whole bucket. Dear girl, do you know that there is no such thing as asking too many questions? Who? What? When? Where? Why? How? That's how we learn stuff, right? Asking questions and finding answers. Sometimes we find an answer and then it makes us ask another question, right? Dear girl, write down your thoughts once in a while, even if it's just to enjoy the way your pen feels against the paper. That's something I like. Look at that cool illustration. It's like the whole wall is made up of handwriting on it. It's like wallpaper made out of handwriting. It's fun to write down the way you feel in a notebook or something like a journal. Dear girl, make your room awesome. Make your room you. And while you're at it, make your bed. Her room looks pretty cool, doesn't it? She has posters that are kind of original like her. She's got a bed that looks kind of neat like her. Dear girl, don't ever lose your sense of wonder. That cool rainbow. Dear girl, sometimes you just gotta stop and dance. Oh my goodness, look at her. Her family might be a little surprised at the time she decided to just stop and dance, but I guess that's when she had to dance. Dear girl, find people like you and find people unlike you. See that? That's really important. Dear girl, create traditions, fun, crazy handshakes, and silly inside jokes. Dear girl, if your instinct is telling you to say no, say no, you know? Dear girl, coloring outside the lines is cool too. That looks pretty cool. Dear girl, there are no rules about what to wear or how to cut your hair. I like her purple skirt. Dear girl, you know what's really boring? When people say how bored they are. That's boring. Dear girl, listen to your brave side. Here you can see she's on a diving board and it says, gosh, I don't know. And then she says, I've got this. Listen to your brave side. There's so much you can do if you try. Dear girl, you won't be invited to every single party on the planet, which is really okay because can you imagine how exhausting that would be? Dear girl, a tree trunk is the perfect place for quiet thoughts to be thunk. Now a cool picture of a tree. Look at that illustration. Isn't that neat? She's thinking underneath the tree. Dear girl, whenever you need an encouraging boost, remember you can turn to any page in this book. Most of all, dear girl who I love, know that you can always, always, always turn to me. And that is the end of Dear Girl. Another awesome, encouraging book by Paris Rosenthal, and this one by Paris and her mom. Friends, I hope you enjoyed that book today, and I hope you found even one little bit of advice in there to give you encouragement, whether you're a girl or a boy. Both of those books that we read, Dear Girl and Dear Boy, are full of all kinds of advice that give you encouragement to be yourself and to be brave and to remember that whoever you are, that's who you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be special because you're you, the way you are right now. That's why you are you, and that's why you're so cool. All right? So go be you, go be awesome, and go make it a fantastic day. I miss you so much, but I'll be back tomorrow with another story, okay, friends? Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye for now.